You answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
So, the letter was a trap. Well, I suppose there's nothing I can do about it now. Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and it's time to continue our playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. Let's see. Checking out my available heroes, mainly confirming that we do only have one bounty hunter, which is significant because I really want to make sure that I use Basanj against the next version of the canon, and so I shouldn't include him in too many other missions or he'll be too high level. Anyway, we have 11,000 gold to spend. Let's spend some of it. See, Basanj's equipment is maxed out until his resolve level increases further. Who else to upgrade? Could upgrade Clarinel's weapon. In fact, I think I will. And Seguier's armor a couple of times, since it isn't expensive. And let's pay a visit to the guild. Let's see, how's Cardinal's upgrading? Pretty good. Let's look at Emery. Be good to upgrade Hound's Harry. If I can, I want to use him against the next version of the Flesh. And upgrading Target Whistle's always good. As well as Cry Havoc a couple of times. And, actually, before we proceed, it's time for some spring cleaning. Let's sort trinkets by rarity. Alright. Let's look at the heads. Junia's head is plus 30% healing skills. I think I'm going to sell Junia's head because plus 30% healing skills is not enough for enough to justify plus 20% stress. However, plus 25% damage might be, and plus 25% prot, I'm going to say definitely is. The Ethereal Crucifix is actually good. I actually don't like the Demon's Cauldron, though. The extra 3% critical doesn't matter because the Occultist rarely does meaningful damage. I suppose Sacrificial Stab could be good, but I only really do meaningful damage with Occultists when I'm exploiting Sacrificial Stab plus Eldritch Killing Incense plus the Eldritch Slayer quirk, and so having to devote a accessory slot for just a 3% increase to critical rate isn't really enough. And frankly, the Occultist's debuffs rarely miss, and I generally don't bother with having the Occultist try to stun things, so this doesn't really give us much of a benefit. By comparison, the Hero's Ring is solidly good, and the Holy Orders are amazing. I think I'll hold on to the Dark Crown for now. This would actually be very good if I'm intentionally planning on taking on a Shambler. See, Eldritch Slayer's Ring is excellent, so is the Feather Crystal. The Moon Cloak, once again, could be useful if I'm taking on a Shambler. I'm torn on the Quick Draw Charm because the issue with it is I usually prefer strategies that require more setup, where I will mark an enemy or stun them or something so they take extra damage before hitting them. So extra speed pretty much guarantees that the person with the extra critical rate will go first, and if they go first, all they can do is use an attack that does pretty good damage. I'd rather have extra critical rate on, say, a bounty hunter who is then targeting someone who's been marked. But the plus 8 speed means that said bounty hunter would almost certainly go first. And the reduced speed afterward is kind of an issue. So honestly, I'm going to sell this. Sharpening Sheath, we're keeping that. Tome of Holy Healing, we're keeping that. Bloodthirst Ring, keeping that. I haven't found a use for it yet, but I'm certain that I will. Book of Relaxation is good. Camper's Helmet is excellent. Cursed Incense I'll hold on to. It's better because rather than boosting stuns, it boosts move skills, which are actually quite useful, and the negatives are less. The debuff amulet's good. Fortunate amulet. Yeah, the, wait a second. Oh. So the Haste Chalice gives a lot of speed on the first round and a little speed after that, and it just reduces the chance of the, wait, I misread that. This one's, the Fortunate Armlet is Leper only, and is actually really good. The Haste Chalice is Vestal only. You know, the extra speed is really not enough to justify that, especially since I prefer the Tome of Holy Healing and Holy Orders combo. Protective Padlock I'm holding on to in case we get an Abomination. The Solar Bracer is actually pretty good because I'm kind of paranoid about my torch level, so that could be useful. And the Worry Stone is good too. The slight reduction in speed isn't a big deal. The Agility Talent is good, but there's no reason to have two of them. The Archer's Ring is good, and it's worth having two, because two different people could equip them. I like the Bleeding Pendant. And the Defender's Seal for the Crusader. The Defender's Seal plus the Holy Orders. The Holy Orders don't increase prot, but that could make for a very durable Crusader. I'll hold on to the Drifter's Buckle. Eldritch Killing Incense is actually really good. Healing Armlet is actually great for the Leper. Lock of Patience is good, but there's not much reason to have two of them. I'm not bringing two Abominations on the same mission. I'm actually going to sell the Quickening Satchel because I have two better satchels. The Swordsman's Crest is actually not as bad as it seems. I mean, minus 50% to healing skills is a pretty serious loss, but you can send a Crusader into battle with no healing skills. Unmovable Helmet, though, I want to keep. Same thing with the Vengeful Greaves. Various Bracer, Bleedstone, Blight Charm, Blight Stone, Critical Stone, Debuff Charm. I'm actually going to get rid of the Debuff Charm. I think I have never used it. And I have 3 Protection Stones. I'm going to sell the stuns. I'll sell one of the Protection Stones. And I'm not a huge... I believe most of the heroes that really don't want to be moved have class-specific equipment that grants move resistance, but I don't know, the Leper doesn't, so I'm going to hold on to the Move Charm, because that could still be useful. And lo and behold, having just done a little spring cleaning, we have 19,000 gold! Right. I'm going to upgrade the equipment for my lower level Occultist. And Seguier could afford a bit more of an upgrade. See about Clara now. Upgrade her armor. Let's see, Sordaval. Let's upgrade his weapon. Vavasseur. Could stand to have his weapon upgraded. And let's pop. That's actually, we have so much money. Let's see if there are any positive quirks we want to lock in. Alright. Let's see. I'm tempted to remove Basanja's tuckered out. Let's see. Let's see what Emery has. I'm not really seeing anything particularly impressive either to lock in or to get rid of, honestly. So, Stress Eater could be a good one to get rid of for our antiquarian, though. Ooh. Honestly, Clarinel looks like she could use some treatment. Let's see, Lazy Eye, the -5 accuracy to ranged skills is a real issue, and the -10% damage if the torch is above 75 is also a bit of an issue. I'm gonna treat, it costs to treat both? Oh, I can only treat one. I'm gonna treat Clarinel's Lazy Eye. And, last thing I'm gonna do is take Rord to the guild to learn that she doesn't really need to upgrade any of her skills. I don't know, upgrading if it bleeds would be good. And then take Rord over to the blacksmith. Where is she? There she is. And to learn that I'd already upgraded her weapon and armor. Well, after that relatively long introduction, it's time to go adventuring. Okay, so I could potentially get a caregiver's convention if I complete this mission, as well as another haste chalice I don't need, or a fortunate armlet for a leper. Alternatively, I could get a haste chalice and activate fresh air in the tunnels. You know, I'm gonna go with fresh air in the tunnels anyway because, actually I may not want to do that. What would the medium one get me? 3 busts and an immunity mask, which would be quite useful for a leper. Though, I think I'm gonna go after getting fresh air in the tunnels. That could be useful, and the Warrens are the one that we most really need to spend time in order to unlock more advanced bosses. So we have Rord, Rord and then Bowen. And then, let's see, Lovett has been warming the bench a lot lately, but he has some pretty good abilities. Just put him in position 3. And now we just need someone to act as a healer. And, well, I'd say it's not optimal. Gillian, our occultist, is probably qualified to be our healer for this mission. And I mean, 2 of his 3 teammates have the ability to heal themselves, so this should be manageable. Well, let's take on the Warrens. Got our pickaxes. Get another couple medicinal herbs. Handful of shovels. I don't think we need too many. Decent number of torches. Plenty of anti-venom because I know the pigs love to inflict blight. Bring some bandages because of those swine slashers. A couple of keys, a little holy water. We want more keys than holy water. And plenty of food. Alright. And I'd say we're prepared. And yep, blight and bleed, ignore prot. That's why I like those damage types so much.
The swine draw power from their horrid markings and crude idols. Tear them down.
Alright. Well, it's time to desecrate some religious symbols. Right. Yeah, and of course, since the symbols can be in hallways, we're going to be exploring this whole
Mind that such
place.
missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Ah, the dinner cart. Well, time for a little more cannibalism for
Packs
fun and profit.
laden with loot are often low on supplies.
I'm gonna trade the extra 4 food for the extra 2 food now for gold, because 2 food, when we already have 24 food, 2 additional food isn't really that helpful. Right? And successful scouting. And we have a curio in this hallway that could be one of the shrines. Now let's just flip through. That was... Well, that went badly. Well, now we have hunger. And move to this empty room, and we finally have our first battle. Well, we will in a moment. Prepare yourselves, we're about to be gravely nibbled. And that's one of them down.
A faint hope blossoms.
And I'll use if it bleeds on this one.
Falls.
Because if he can hit them, the leper can hit the other 2 with Hue. Though, honestly, looking at the leper's stress level and also looking at his accuracy, I'm just going to have to use Solemnity. And I'll risk Weird Reconstruction.
Their formation is broken. Maintain
And that's the end of
defensive.
that. However, pistol shot. Okay, so he wouldn't be able to use the majority of his abilities if I put him all the way back. So, and I can't change which abilities the occultist has. So yeah, the occultist is in kind of a difficult position right now. Really should have thought of that. Well, I'm just gonna have to live with it. And we're gonna have to explore this hallway in case it has a shrine. Pigs and a crazy person. Well, now we can actually use Damon's pull for its intended purpose, because, well, we could have if it had hit. Ow.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Right. And hook where it hurts again. Well, you inflict bleed, so do I. Well, in theory. Let's see. What's their bleed resistance? 40%.
Another abomination.
And the
cleansed from
bleeding,
our lands.
the bleeding was completely unnecessary. I'm going to use Solemnity,
The
though.
wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Yeah, Bowen's resolve is going to be tested. Well, let's try Damon's pull again. And... yeah, I'll use if it bleeds on the slasher.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
And yeah, open vein on the madman. If that missed, I'm not too optimistic about chop, but I'm trying it anyway. Ooh! The leper's showing us how it's done. And weird reconstruction. Which actually did pretty good healing. And finish off the wretch. Honestly, I probably should have had Roar to use Adrenaline Rush.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Right. And our reward for that hallway battle was
Handsome
a
reward.
torch.
For a task well performed.
Well, sort of. We also got the direct rewards from the battle, but we have found none of the shrines so far. Okay, we do not want to use holy water. So there's really nothing we do want to use. We just know that we do not want to use holy water. Alright. And in here we have spiders! Yay! Oh. And Damon's pole missed again. Wicked Hack didn't. Let's see how Wicked Slice does.
Back to the pit.
Okay, and they can no longer use their Mark Exploit combo. I was expecting Hugh to do a little bit more damage than that.
Dazed, reeling.
If I'd known they would have survived, I would have just had the leper use Solemnity. It would be good if we could keep him from having his resolve tested.
Is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Alright. I'll kill the spitter with more hit points. And he's only taking 1 damage per round, but it's for 4 more rounds. That's a pretty large amount of damage, so I will have him use Anti-Venom. And I'm going to use Solemnity. I already don't like the leper's accuracy. I may as well try to reduce the stress a little bit. There, that is weird reconstruction performing correctly. Okay, and I'll just light my last of that stack of torches.
A blazing star is born.
Well, we managed to avoid an obstacle basically by accident. I go through here. Use bandages to allow for a thorough search to find gold, food, and jade. And instead of going through all the way through here and doing this obstacle, we're actually going to back out and go around this way. Because that allows us to search this hallway, avoid the obstacle so we can save our shovel for later. That's unfortunate. Well, that could have been worse. Yep, better than a trap. Rord knows what's up, but now we can go through this room and find our first shrine. Oh, and get caught by a trap that I knew about. And all the talk of shamblers has the game deciding to offer me one, but I don't want to risk it with this team. I'd rather take on a shambler with a stronger team. And these guys are apparently mad that we destroyed their shrine. And Damon's pull was already successful by forcing him to use Stumbling Scratch. So it can use Vomit from any position. And, well, Owen is diseased. I don't like the fact that the Acolyte is alive. And chop on the one with fewer hit points. Almost got him. His resolve is probably going to be tested right now, apparently. And he is selfish. Alright.
Self-preservation is paramount, at any cost.
Well, Sacrificial Stab removes the Brawler as a problem.
Destroy them all.
And one more pistol shot will take out the Wretch. Good. Clearly there's no need to overexert myself. So, Wicked Hack. And let's see what Chop can do. 8 damage is what Chop can do. Well, there we go. And that is the end of that. And more fairly modest loot.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall. Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
I wouldn't really call that wealth beyond measure. I mean, it's more than a torch, but still. Alright, let's remove the one spitter. Still managed to make web land.
The will to fight falters.
And and bite, which it used bite, which deals extra damage to marked against the guy who wasn't marked. Up. Wicked hack never disappoints. Neither does pistol shot. Well. I was going to say take us home, Bowen, but he decided not to. Well, let's try. We've used Wicked Hack. Let's try Wicked Slice.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Actually, I'm gonna drop 250 gold for the crests. At some point, I'm gonna start prioritizing gold more over heirlooms, but for now, I'm focusing on
treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Ooh, a secret door. And bandits. Well, you know, I really don't like being hit by blanket fire, and he resisted Demon's Pull. Let's see. Yeah, well, the two most damaging people focus on taking out the Bloodletter. And that is the luckiest Fusilier alive. He is just hanging on with that one hit point no matter what we do to him. And apparently he used up all of his luck avoiding being killed because he managed to miss everybody. How do you manage to fire a shotgun into a crowd and hit nothing? That's what I would like to know. I'm actually going to use If It Bleeds on the cutthroat. Alright. And just use Demon's Pull because it will kill that thing. And Grape Shot Blast, which might kill both of them. Or neither. Well,
Slowly,
that one's out.
Gently. This is how a life is taken. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Alright. And we can afford to drop the rest of this. I am moving the Leper forward again. The Leper and the Hellion are kind of interesting because they're both melee classes who are just kind of missing something. The Hellion does... they both do really good damage. The Hellion has solid accuracy but is extremely fragile, and the Leper has terrible accuracy but is extremely durable. They're just kind of... they oddly mirror each other. I'm going to try Open Vein. I only resisted the bleeding part of it. I have limited blood, let's spend it wisely. Alright, let's drag this guy forward. And hook where it hurts. That attack even sounds painful. Well, I'll kill the Slasher. The Leper can handle the Madman. Or not. He did kind of need healing.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Alright, let's see about Open Vein. Well, we'll still get another action at this rate.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Alright, let's see if we can get rid of the Wretch. Okay, that'll get rid of the Wretch.
The slow death, unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Weird reconstruction, get the bandit. I've kind of messed this one up. Their formation's holding a little better than I really should allow it to. Well, let's try Damon's pull again.
Precision and power.
Behold the unquenchable fire of the stars. And that'll do it, because that cleared the corpse. So now everyone can hit the slasher. Alright. And let's just go with pistol shot. And there we go. May as well use Adrenaline Rush. Just to get the healing benefit. And the same thing for Solemnity. Because he's gonna die no matter what we do. Really don't want to leave this portrait behind, but there isn't really anything good to drop. I mean, we can drop some of the supply items, but we'd be dropping a lot. Oh, the hero is bloodthirsty now. That seems like an appropriate quirk for a Hellion. Like, I'm almost not sure I want to get rid of that just because it seems so appropriate for the Hellion to be bloodthirsty. And yeah, I saw the secret door, but I want to come back to it when we have less in our inventory. Back up a little more. And the crate is empty. There's also not much point in continuing down here because it's just a room battle with nothing. And maggots. Maggots and spiders. Oh, may as well demons pull the spider into range. Alright. Bowen, you might want to stop doing that because you're stressing out the occultist. Seriously, you are causing undue stress to the guy who specializes in understanding forces man was not meant to know. I mean, seriously, when the occultist is terrified, run. Slave soon covets his master's power. So to say something profound and then miss. Well, at least I have plenty of things to Apparently, it figures out a damage number, and and then after that it decides if it was a critical. So he managed to heal 2 hit points with a critical.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
That is some impressive spin doctoring there. That 2 hit points that he restored, that was a critical! Ah, great. Carrion eaters and swine drummers. No, the drummer can cause us a lot of trouble. So let's bring him forward, and let's kill him.
Decimated.
And now the drummer will not be causing us a lot of trouble. Alright. That would have been nice if it had hit. Now let's see how Chop does. Pretty well. Unfortunately, now we have to deal with being munched. And vomited on, too. Yeah, you really don't leave the Warrens without being covered in bodily fluids. Alright. And Wicked Hack to get rid of the other one. Alright. And Grape Shot Blast should finish off the Carrion Eater. I need to stop saying that. And Gillian's resolve has been tested, and he's irrational. You know,
Reeling, gasping.
I'm gonna be honest.
Into madness.
To meddle with the forces the occultist gets involved in, you already have to be kind of irrational. Alright, and that just leaves the one wretch. Oh, you're in exactly the position I need you to be in to kill the swine wretch. if you would hit. Oh, pistol shot. There we go.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay, scouting has informed me that we can afford to drop the shovels. And I'm actually going to take the sapphires because that's 1,000 gold each. I'm willing to give up one portrait for that.
The light, the promise of safety.
Against my better judgment, I'm going to throw some holy water at the altar. I suspect that if I were to place a torch here, we would end up fighting a monster, just like with the altar of the Shambler. And I really don't think that we're equipped to handle that right now. Oh. Well, let's deal with the hunger, because we have no shortage of food. Get back into our default party order. Starting to wonder if I've missed something.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Well, I don't know. There are two curios. If two of these three have to be altars. That's one. Which means that either the one in the hallway or the one in the... I got too close to it.
Mechanical hazards, possessed by evil intent.
Alright, I'm just going to quick treat the bleeding for that. So I've managed to successfully detect a trap twice and got hit by them both times because I wasn't paying attention. Yep, I am a professional. Well, let's destroy the animalistic shrine. And I'm going to continue adventuring. And we may as well make camp.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Because we're going back to that secret room. Let's see. Use Bandit's Sense to prevent nighttime ambush. Use Reflection. We're gonna have Gillian give up hope. Or not. And I'll give a pep talk to the, yeah, I'll give a pep talk to each of the afflicted people, just to reduce their stress intake so they don't have heart attacks. Though, we're almost through this.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
So, now we just need to get back to that secret room for its sweet, sweet loot. And because we got rid of our pickaxes, we have a decent amount of inventory space. The pickaxes and the firewood were taking up a lot of space. And there shouldn't be any more fighting. That's my favorite kind of adventuring. No fights, all loot. Alright. And the secret door is here. And what do we got? An ancient artifact, and we open it with a skeleton key. It's like it's stalking me. I sold Junia's head before we started this mission, and lo and behold, here is Junia's head right in front of me. I should probably just not sell the heads. Apparently selling them re-adds them to the loot rotation, and otherwise there would be a third trapezohedron here. I did not know that. Well, having gotten our loot, it's time to go home.
Robbed of their ridings, the swine will grow ever more ignorant. If such a thing were possible.
And we actually got an okay amount of gold in addition to the 4,500 reward. How do we do for heirlooms? Not bad. Not bad at all. And Bowen is up to resolve level 3. And has a disease.
The twisting tunnels no longer exhale the toxic stench of degeneracy.
Well, and fresh air in the tunnels, extra resolve experience, and extra damage in our next quest in the Warrens. So, whatever quest we do next, it's gonna be in the Warrens. Well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Gillian and the other guy some stress treatment because they need it very badly. I'll treat Bowen's stress first, I'll treat his disease later. The next thing I'm going to do is spend some heirlooms. I believe the guild... Okay, it would take a... Let's see, what would I need to... Can I trade enough to... So I need 11 more portraits, I can only get 2, so yeah. I'm not going to be able to upgrade the guild again. On the other hand, I'm pretty close to being able to upgrade the guild to actually max it out, so I think I might hold out on upgrading any more structures until I can upgrade the guild. We do have a fair amount of gold, though. We get another Move Charm, Blight Amulet, Manslayer's Ring, or the Lock of Fury. Let's see. Blacksmith, I think I want to upgrade my Jester's weapon a couple of times. And see how Vastal's equipment is doing. Pretty good, but I can upgrade her armor. And over to the guild. And I think I'm going, let's see, leveling up these 2 abilities. Wait, leveling up Slice Off doesn't just increase its likelihood of inflicting bleed, it also increases the amount of bleed so that it can bleed the enemy for 12 points of damage. And the same thing happens for Harvest. Yeah, those are my 2 favorite Jester abilities. And I may as well upgrade Inspiring Tune as well. And you know, let's put a point or 2 into Battle Ballad. That's a good ability. And for Vastal, she's already pretty good. I think I may as well upgrade Iron Swan, though. And Fontamai. Sniper Shot is pretty amazing, especially since it gets extra critical hits versus Marked. Sniper's Mark is... I don't think it needs to be upgraded, it is good though. And let's put a point into Rallying Flare, even though it failed me last time. Alright. And I may as well see what Tornaville could benefit from. He's pretty good on the abilities side. And back to the blacksmith. Fontamai needs a better gun. Well, crossbow. And let's see about Tornaville. Patry? He could use some upgrading. And having upgraded the B team, they're kind of the C team. So the A team is the 4 people who are Resolve level 5. The B team is the team of Resolve level 3s and 4s who take on intermediate missions. And then these people who are Resolve level 1 and 2 are the C team who are still training up. Anyway, having upgraded the reserve team a little bit, I'm going to quick get us a fresh recording file before starting on our second quest of the evening. So, I will be back in a moment.
The poor caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him.
Alright, I'm back with a lovely fresh recording file, and we're going to the Warrens. We have unlocked the 2nd level of the Swine King. Who would I bring if I were to go on that mission? Let's see. I don't want to bring Basange because I'm kind of saving him for the fight with the cannon. So... let's see. Because the thing is, having fresh air in the tunnels, it might be worthwhile to take on the Swine King now when we do extra damage, in addition to receiving extra resolve experience. So the team would be Bertrand, Emery, Traley, and Adenel. Is that a viable team? You know, let's see. The other option would be to do the same quest again and get fresh air in the tunnels again next week. Honestly, I'm going to go after the Swine King. This might not be an ideal team, but I think we can win with it. And... well, Bertrand gets the Holy Orders. And I know I have at least one other sort by class restriction. Let's see, the other option would be Defender's Seal or Swordsman's Crest. Let's see. Since he's in the front row and he's kind of the tank, I'm going with the Defender's Seal. Alright, for Emery, he's actually pretty good, just with the ability to... with extra max HP and the ability to inflict a lot of bleeding. For our... do we have nothing that's restricted to the... yeah, it appears we have no equipment that can only be used by the Plague Doctor. Well, the Blightstone is good. And I think I'll actually give him the Worry Stone. And of course we know what the Vestal is getting, the Sacred Scroll and the Tome of Holy Healing. Alright, I definitely like our Vestal's abilities. Alright, Battlefield Medicine. I want Blinding Gas. Otherwise, I actually would say that I like his ability set pretty well. Before we actually fight the boss, I'll probably drop Plague Grenade for Incision, because I'm not planning on killing Wilbur this time. I'd drop Hound's Harry for Cry Havoc. Now let's see about you. Inspiring Cry is definitely good. Stunning Blow, Zealous Accusation, and Smite is basically your single target ability. I could use Holy Lance if he gets knocked out of position, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. Okay, let's take on the Swine King. Alright. Need plenty more anti-venom. A couple of bandages. A couple of medicinal herbs. A key or two. Some shovels. A lot of torches. This is a long mission. We could be in there for a while. And food. Maybe in excess, but, well, consider it overcompensating for what happened last time.
My first attempts at summoning were crude, and the results disappointing. I soon found, however, that the type and condition of the host's meat was a critical factor. The best results came from pigs, whose flesh is most like that of man. A nameless abomination. A testament to my failures. It must be destroyed.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at what he's saying. I'm just laughing at the almost perfect square that we got that we have to find the boss somewhere in. Yeah, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Nothing must be left untouched. Oh, we found a journal entry. That's one of the effects we can have from that. And it's the one about Hewell again. Well, I wonder if we'll actually get to keep it this time. Oh, let's hit this with some holy water. And we found loot. Quite a bit of loot. And our first room battle. And it's bandits, including a Fusilier who's in stealth. Alright. I'm going to open up with Blackjack on the Bloodletter. And the thing about stealth, it doesn't save you from Plague Grenade. Nothing will save you from Plague Grenade.
The ground quakes.
And in regards to stunning this guy, I guess third time's a charm. Or not. Because his stun resistance is only 70%. Statistically, he probably should have been stunned by one of those. And we get to be surrounded by the warm, cozy embrace of blanket fire. Oh, point blank shot. Ow. Well, let's try Plague Grenade again.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Right. And Divine Comfort will restore a lot. He still hasn't been stunned, so I can keep trying stunning low. And Blackjack. And he should not be resisting stun this many times with only 70% stun resistance. Oh. Okay. Okay. And Noxious Blast to get him to take even more damage over time. And now may as well be the right time to put us back in position.
Gently.
And it is at this moment that I realize that Cry Havoc does not work when the Houndmaster is in position 2.
Sedated.
Alright, and that is the end of the Bloodletter. But I have a few free turns to heal us. No, not Zealous Accusation, I meant Inspiring Cry. And may as well just use Target Whistle. And there we go.
The greater the glory.
And I already have to drop something. Guess I'll drop the journal page. That's the wrong key. And I'll drop the onyx for the emerald. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Cry Havoc for Hound's Harry now that I've remembered that I can't use Cry Havoc in position 2. And we got an heirloom chest, and we got a key for the chest. And we don't have the inventory space for any of it. Oh, let's drop skeleton keys and the shovels. And once I've healed everybody with food, I'll drop the one remaining food for the last bit of set of portraits. Bit of set of portraits. I talk good. And nothing must be left unopened. And crests we don't have inventory space for. I'm gonna drop the gold for the... Once again, my finger is on caps lock instead of shift. I'm gonna drop the gold for the crests. The onyx can stay. And we just keep exploring. A lot of these piles of bones. Unfortunately, we're out of holy water. Surprisingly large number of empty rooms, too. This is a very empty dungeon. Is the Swine King scared everyone else away? Oh, we have scouting. Okay. This was straightforward. Oh. A trap, a room battle with a curio, and then, the man himself. The man of the hour. Or, well, the pig of the hour. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a fight. Alright. There's Dazzling Light on the Corpse Eater because I don't want it doing its thing just yet. Butcher Cut probably hurts a lot. Oh, it hurts a lot, alright. Target Whistle on the Reaver. Oh.
Exposed to a killing blow.
Give him a splitting headache. And Plague Grenade. And of course we're being munched, at least we're not being gravely nibbled. Alright, Zealous Accusation is a good start. And once again, Sound managed to miss. And I forgot to treat the bleeding. Oh, Hound's Rush, let's inflict some bleeding of our own. In theory, anyway. Oi. That does a lot. This is a tough team to take out. Right. Divine Comfort. So everybody's a bit damaged. Alright, I think I have a plan. I'll just use Bandage and Anti-Venom. And Zealous Accusation. I could have used Battlefield Medicine, but I'm not sure when the Plague Doctor's next turn is. I'll have him use Battlefield Medicine on himself.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
And that cleared the corpse. Well, Zealous Accusation cleared the corpse. Alright. You know, one more Zealous Accusation would do it. Of course, the Crusader already took his turn for this round, but Hound's Harry should do the job. Yep. And now we just get to exploit the fact that, with the exception of the Houndmaster, everyone in our team has at least one healing ability.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
And so we just get to spend a round healing ourselves while the enemy slowly dies. And there we go.
A weapon that cuts on its own.
I'll drop the gold for additional portraits. We need those. And no known curio interactions. However, since in the next room is the boss, let's light the firewood.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Alright. I start off with Hound's Watch to prevent nighttime ambush. And Zealous Speech to guarantee that nobody ends up getting afflicted. And I'm gonna bless the Houndmaster because I'm planning on using Hound's Rush on. I'm gonna use Target Whistle on the Swine King and then use Hound's Rush. So the Hound really needs to not miss. And we're out of time, so it's time to rest. Come on, quit talking, it's past your bedtime. And I'm gonna come back to the secret room after killing the boss. So, here we go. Swine King and Wilbur.
A travesty. A blundering mountain of hatred and rage.
Alright. To start off, Target Whistle. Okay, and it's marked the Vestal. Well, let's see if we can stun the 10% chance. Do I want to risk it? Sure. Ow. And Noxious Blast. Yeah, blinding gas is irrelevant in this fight, but Noxious Blast to get this guy started on his damage over time. Oh, so Wilbur will use Bit of Squeal and then also use End this one. Stunning Blow is only 110 and he needs... Well, the Swine King isn't unholy, but let's just use Smite. That did pretty good damage. Alright, and I won't get to exploit marking this turn. I will get to use Noxious Blast to make him take even more damage over time. And I'm actually going to use Divine Grace on the Vestal herself. Right. The thing about Obliterate Body is that it's kind of like Rubble of Ruin, where it does a lot of damage, but it's slow. So, we can just, as long as we heal people enough to get them off of Death's Door, it can be okay. And end these two missed, somehow. Oh, I'm not going to question it. Okay, now he's bleeding and blighted, and let's blight him again. 18, 20 damage per round. At this point, the damage over time is doing more, I believe, than we're doing directly. And Wild Flailing, which also missed. He is really hurt by End this one missing. Unfortunately, Wilbur managed to stun the Vestal. That's a bit of a problem. Fortunately, he decided to target someone who can take it this time. Wow, his health is going down fast. Let's see. I'm just gonna go with Hound's Rush again. Wait, so with the mark it did 15, and without the mark it did 14. I know that it probably got a very different damage roll the second time. I still find that funny. Okay, he's targeting the Plague Doctor again. That's not good. The Plague Doctor will probably be on Death's Door if he's hit by that. Let's prevent that from happening. Oh.
Unbalanced.
And he decided to target the Vestal instead. Well, let's punish him for that. Mercy is for the courts. And he's done. He is screwed. May as well use Battlefield Medicine to restore a few hit points to the Vestal. Really glad I did that. Inspiring Cry for the same purpose. And there we go.
Will it take to gnaw through a ton of putrid flesh?
And apparently Wilbur gets to continue living after this, and we actually have to kill him. What does he do with his second action if he's if he can't mark people because the person who exploits it is dead? I guess we'll find out. So he just uses the ability Squeal. So he can stun the entire party if he does that. I mean, it doesn't matter. We've gotten it. But... And let's keep trying to heal the Vestal gradually. And there we go.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And we may as well drop all of the supply items at this point, except for the, I dropped the keys. I don't remember when I dropped the keys, but I should not have dropped the keys because there's a chest yet in the hidden room. Well, there's nothing I can do about it now. Let's see what we get without the keys. A lot of gold, but not the 3 trapezohedrons we would have gotten if I'd remembered to hold on to the keys. Well, I'm not letting that spoil my good mood. We have gotten rid of the Swine King. And there's not a whole lot left in this dungeon, so now that we've gotten the hidden room, let's get back to the hamlet. And a pretty good haul of heirlooms, too. 11 resolve experience because of the bonus. And Bertrand is an Eldritch Slayer. Emery is a Manslayer, which seems kind of appropriate for the Houndmaster, honestly. And Adenel has caught Lethargy. Didn't realize that was something you could catch.
The degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing, I fear, when compared to the condition of surrounding acres.
Well, that's not what I meant to click on. We have the heirlooms. Let's max out the guild. Reduce the cost of skill training. Our techniques sharpened to a razor's edge. Well, we have a few diseased people. Let's treat those diseases. Then we have some gold to spend. Not a whole lot, though. I think we're going to spend this on upgrading some of the lower level people. Alright. I'm gonna learn him disorienting blast. And bleed out is pretty good. However, having spent a bit of our bounty, and having defeated the Swine King, this is going to be the end for this part. We've finally managed to take on another boss, and we're really getting up there. We've got a pretty good stable of champion level heroes. We have a couple of hamlet structures fully upgraded. We're starting to get to the end of this playthrough. It's been a long road, but things are finally coming together. So, thank you all for watching. I love you all. And I will see you next time.